السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي كان موجودا قبل حدوث الأشياء ويبقى بعد فناء الأشياء، تفرد بالأولية والقدم ووسم كل شيء ما عداه بالفناء والعدم، كما قال عز شأنه: كل شيء هالك إلا وجهه وكل نفس ذائقة الموت. وقال: كل من عليها فان ويبقى وجه ربك ذو الجلال والإكرام. والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنام، سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين، ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد، فقد قال الله في كتابه الكريم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم: فاعفوا واصفحوا حتى يأتي الله بأمره إن الله على كل شيء قدير. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Baqarah, the second chapter of the Quran, in ayat number 109, فَاعْفُوا وَاصْفَحُوا, then you forgive and excuse them. وَاصْفَحُوا, and show your forbearance, until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala issues His own commandments. Because Allah has the power over all things. Inna Allah ala kulli shayin qadir. So, to pursue our discussion about the forgiving and the importance of forgiveness in Islam, we're discussing this issue for several weeks. And I was about to conclude the topic, but of course the topic has so many aspects to discuss. And then I received a few questions and comments. So I decided to elaborate more on this issue. So last week we were discussing a scenario that if somebody has done wrong and he has been in a state of injustice and oppression against you. So he has committed a wrongdoing and you were the victim. So it is recommended for you to show patience and forgive him and let the issue go. Don't make it a big deal. It is good for you. This is what we discussed so far. And this is what Imam Zain al-Abidin ﷺ is discussing in his discourse on rights. And this is not just a recommendation that you just let it go and just don't try to retaliate. Rather, it is a right of the person who wronged you. So even a wrongdoer has a right on you. So Imam says, if the wrongdoer is doing it purposely, so it's better to just avoid any conflict and just forgive him, let him go. If he did it involuntarily, mistakenly, if he did something wrong with you, so of course you cannot return his mistake with something deliberate. It doesn't make any sense that he did it mistakenly and you doing it purposely. So anyway, you have to forgive him in this situation. Okay, so fine. So it is recommended to forgive. And there are plenty of ayat in Quran in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala encourages the believers to have the quality of forgiving. Because Allah himself is forgiving. And in the ayat that I earlier recited many times, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given this reference of his forgiveness, his quality of forgiveness, by saying, وَلْيَعْفُوا وَلْيَصْفَحُوا, they should forgive and they should ignore. أَلَا تُحِبُّونَ, don't you like that Allah should forgive you? Which means Allah wants us to forgive. This is the recommendation. But how about the person who is a wrongdoer? He is wrongdoer, and again he is not regretful for what he has done. What should we do? And even if we forgive him, main question is here, and it is a very good question. If we forgive him, let's say we forgive somebody who has wronged us, but he never showed any kind of regret, he never said sorry, but I forgave him, for example. So will Allah also forgive him? This is the question. If I forgive somebody, will Allah also forgive him? Because when you do something wrong, you wrong someone, this is something that you are doing against two. You are violating two rights. Rights of the person who you wronged and the rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala stopped you. Allah forbid you to wrong someone else. You cannot violate somebody's rights. If you do it, you're violating his right and you're violating Allah's right by disobeying Allah. So when you forgive someone, he is not asking you for forgiveness, but you forgive him because Allah recommends that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, forgive him. Okay, I did. Ya Allah, since you say I should be forgiving, I should be patient. I showed my patience and my forbearance. Now he is not showing any regret or sorry. So what should I do? Nothing. So Allah will forgive him? No. Allah will not forgive him. You forgive him. Why Allah will not forgive him? He might forgive him one right, that I gave up my right, and I will get the reward for that so much for sure. But one right which was against Allah, disobeying Allah by wronging someone, is still there. Why? Because he didn't say sorry. So as I said last time, that in Islam all the rules and laws are balanced and apply both ways in any kind of relationship. There is no command, no rule, no law in Islam which you can show us it is one way. No one-way rule. Both ways, both sides. So when you talk about rights, rights has no existence without two people two individuals, two groups, two sides, two parties. When you have in your mind two parties, two groups, two individuals, then you can speak about rights. If there is no other person, so the word right will not apply there. Why? Because right is nothing but responsibility of somebody. So when you are talking about rights, it means there is someone who has to give you this right. Someone has to fulfill his responsibility in order for you to receive the right. So when there are two parties involved in the issue of right, so of course Islam gives both side instructions, not one-way instruction. So for you, for us who were wrong, who were victim of somebody's wrongdoing, it is recommended that we should forgive. For the other person who has done the wrongdoing, of course we also many times, who knows that what we do which may cause hurting the feeling of someone. We might do so many mistakes in our life. We might say something which we think is good, but it is going to hurt somebody. We might write something, an email, something. We might text something. We might do something which may, hurt feeling of someone. And sometimes it is possible that we may not know that we have done something wrong. Unknowingly we do it. Many times this happens. It happens with me myself. I give a very simple example. And I ask forgiveness from everybody and from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Very simple, So after salat, everybody comes to do the musafiha and shake hand with me, right? And all mu'mineen, they shake hand with one another. While shaking hand, other people are waiting to shake hand. After the person who is now shaking hand with me, when he leaves, the other person is ready to shake hand with me. Now while he is shaking hand, he asked me a question, for example, quickly, very quick question. So I'm talking to him. While I'm talking to him, somebody, extended his hands to shake hand with me. And I don't know. And I'm not aware of what is going on because I am talking to him and I am shaking hand with him. I'm not looking to him while shaking hand. Which is not appropriate. When you shake hand with somebody, you cannot shake hand like this, looking here and shaking hand here. You have to look to him because this is against respect. This is disrespectful that you shake hand with him while looking somewhere else. Okay, so this may happen many times and I don't know. It can happen with you and you don't know. Somebody is coming, shaking hand with you, you're talking to someone else, you're looking to him. Okay, if you move and look to the person who's shaking hand, that person will feel disrespect. He was just talking to me and he moved to the other person. So these are very simple social relationship issues. So it is better, first of all, that if you feel something from your friend that he hurt your feelings, tell him that I didn't like this. Don't keep it in your heart. It's wrong to keep in your heart and your friend, your brother doesn't know. Tell him that I didn't like this from you. He might be able to, explain that why this happened. And he might, say sorry. And the issue will resolve right away. But if you keep it in your mind, and after 10 years you tell him, look, you did this to me. That's why I don't like you. This is not appropriate. But this happens. And this happens in many relationships. Look, in husband-wife relationship is the best and the closest relationship. And the most sacred and most important in all aspects. But we don't realize that. This is the best bounty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This relationship, and as I many times mentioned, that it is the first relationship which started with Adam and Eve. Then other relationships start. This is the first. Then other relationships started afterwards, but this was the first. It's a very important relationship. In this relationship, in 24 hours, maybe 24 times, such things can happen that you can resolve them easily. But if you keep them and you don't discuss that, you don't say that what you're feeling, and the other person is not ready to hear that what my partner is feeling, this will cause so much problems. Because you never know what you have said, what you have done, that has hurt the feelings of your partner. So if the partner wants to talk to you, you should listen patiently. And also you should be careful. So saying sorry is good. Forgiving is good. Both are recommended from both sides. When you say sorry and he forgives, the issue will be over right away. This is what Islam wants. It doesn't mean that only one way Islam is saying, you should forgive people, you should forgive people. No, the people also should say sorry to you. Both sides. But now, if he is not saying sorry, what should I do? Should I not forgive? No. Everybody should do his own duty, because the other party also can say, okay, I'm saying sorry 10 times, but he is not forgiving me. This can also happen. He is saying sorry, you're not forgiving him. Okay. You are forgiving him, he is not saying sorry. So what should you do? So everybody should fulfill his own responsibility. His responsibility is to say sorry if he has done anything wrong. His responsibility is to say, okay, don't worry about it, never mind, I forgive you. We have nothing between us. We are fine. He should forgive, he should ask forgiveness. But if one of these two is not performing, is not doing his own duty and responsibility, the other person should not abandon his responsibility in retaliation, because then he will lose. So do what is your responsibility. And if you remember, in one of my sermons I said when you act, when you show your akhlaq and your manners, show and give whatever you have. And the other person will give and share whatever he has. So when your akhlaq, your manners are great, show your forgiveness. Because it is you. Don't worry that who you are forgiving. It is you who is forgiving. So this is one issue. The other issue was that, okay, fine. Should we always, everywhere forgive? Or there are limits for forgiveness? Yes, of course, there are limits for forgiveness. Look, when we talk about anything in Islam, do's and don'ts. So in one word you can say, offer salat. That's it. It's very simple, little sentence. Go and offer salat. Salat is wajib. Salat is obligatory. But this has hundreds of rules and laws. Right? Go do your hajj. Pilgrimage is wajib. Okay, but the pilgrimage has hundreds of laws and rules and regulations that you have to follow. The same thing anywhere when Islam says this is obligatory, this is forbidden. In both situations, this is recommended, this is unliked, makruh. And this is mubah, this is jaiz, this is allowed. In all situations, there are some details in for the issue to understand. Same thing applies here. So when you forgive someone, is this always applies that we should forgive every single person? Everyone? We inshallah will discuss this in next week. That who should we forgive? And who deserves our forgiveness? And is there any place where we should say, no, I'm not forgiving? Is there any condition that when I can say, no, I'm not forgiving? Or I always should be forgiving? No, I forgive everybody. So forgiveness is highly recommended, but yes, there are limits. Now people like these limits because they try to find some loopholes in the law in order to justify their actions. If you say, why are you not forgiving this person? No. Maulana said there are limits and he is out of that limits. I cannot forgive him. Why? Because he falls into the category in which he doesn't deserve the forgiveness. Okay. So we have to be very clear about it. That's why I'm not starting now, because the time is over. If I start now, I cannot explain the whole thing. And then you'll say, yes, I'm not going to forgive because my rival or the person who is against me or the person who wronged me, he falls under that category that Maulana said, no, don't forgive him. So we'll discuss about, yes, people who you should not forgive, or is better not to forgive, and sometimes it is allowed, is up to you. Means all Islamic laws are within, in the framework of just five things. Either it is wajib, haram, mustahab, makruh, mubah, jaiz. It is obligatory, or no, it is forbidden, totally forbidden, or it is recommended. Not obligatory, but it's good to do it, or it is disliked, unrecommended. It's better not to do it, or it is totally allowed. It is fine for you to do it. Neither it is wajib, nor it is forbidden, nor it is recommended. Right? Just like drinking tea. What is that? It's wajib, haram, mustahab, makruh. No, nothing. It's jaiz. It's fine. You want to drink it, it's fine. You don't drink it, it's fine. So there are the same thing here about forgiving or any issue, social issue especially, has these 5 aspects. And we should understand the issues. Just as I said, salat is wajib. There is one simple sentence, but it has so many details. We have to know the details. The same thing about forgiving. But overall, I can say that 95% of our issues fall under this category which we are talking about, that it is sometimes is highly recommended to forgive, many times it is wajib to forgive, and many times it is allowed to forgive. Not to forgive, very few instances are there in Islam where you are, you can say that no, this is not the way I should forgive now. And we'll talk about that aspect also. Imam Zainul Abidin alayhi salam, all our Imams have so many examples of forgiving, how they would forgive people. Amazing examples. Amazing. Started from Imam Ali alayhi salam. He is the one and he is the foremost. He is the best example of forgiving and ignoring and not taking revenge. Best, you know that. Then every Imam has such examples and beautiful examples and beautiful lessons. So the Imam I just named, he is the one who gave us this beautiful book, Risalat al-Huquq, in which he explained the rights of everything, not just human being. 50 rights he is speaking about. And we are talking, about this discourse on rights of Imam. So this Imam is not just, giving us advice to forgive people. See what is his practice. How did he do it himself? Not just verbally, practically how did he do? Let's see. So somebody comes to him in front of his followers, and his companions and friends are sitting. He started using abusive words, bad words, wrong words, and accusations, allegations. Imam kept hearing, and the companions were very angry. They tried to stop him. How dare he can speak this? Imam said, no, let him finish, let him finish. When he finished, and he left. He left. After a while, Imam said, okay, let's go now. Let's go to him. Talk to him. To him? Why? Let's go. So everybody, all those companions who were sitting, everybody was angry. Everybody wanted to give him a strong answer and reply. But because of the Imam and his respect, nobody talked anything because Imam was stopping them. But now, many of them were happy that, okay, now maybe we'll go there and we'll have the chance to, reply and take the revenge. Coming, knock the door. This person comes out. He saw Imam with his companions. Think what had happened to him. He said, oh my God, now I'm alone in my house, and he came with all his friends. He's going to take a very strong revenge from me, and I have no chance to call my friends and my helpers. What will happen today? Oh my God. He was so much scared. When he saw the Imam said, Assalamu alaikum. He said, Wa alaikum assalam. He said, you just were talking something. You were saying some words. Do you remember them? Yeah, I remember. He was so much scared. Yes, I remember. He said, listen, whatever you said, either what you were said is right or wrong. The allegations that you were saying are right or wrong. If I have those qualities that you mentioned, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive me. If I don't have those and you were wrong, we all ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive you. How about that? Do you like it? He touched the feet of Imam and said, please forgive me. I know you don't have those qualities. You are the best in the world. But I heard from other people about you, and now I'm not hearing from other people. I can see who you are. I can feel who you are. And now you are the greatest person on earth in my eyes and my heart. And please forgive me. But look the beautiful, sentence of Imam that he used, and it is for us forever. Either I have the quality, what you are talking about me, you do ghibat, you do allegations, any accusations, anything you say, or bad words, either I have it or I don't have it. If I have it, please ask Allah to forgive me and give me tawfiq to give up all those bad things that you are attributing towards me. But no, if no, then you are wrong. You are a sinner. How can you say something to someone that he doesn't have it? Then I will ask for you to, may Allah forgive you. How beautiful is this? But who can do it? Tell me. Now everybody, let's check himself. I'm thinking about myself. Am I on such a level of akhlaq and ethics that I can demonstrate such manners? This is Imam. And they are examples for us. So 95% of the cases are in this category, that we can just forgive, and it is recommended for us to forgive. The other one, inshallah, we'll talk about it next time. إن أحسن الحديث وبلغ الموعظة كتاب الله أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى يوم الدين. ألا قد أمركم الله في محكم كتابه بالصلاة على نبيه وحبيبه فقال تعليما لكم وتشريفا لصفيه إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما.